Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma and today we are going to be doing my April TBR. So, firstly, I am aware that we've got like a mum bun situation going on. You're just going to have to bear with me because, yeah, this is basically me for the rest of the day. So, yeah. So, before we get into what I'm going to read in April, how did I do in March? And actually, I didn't do too badly. So I took part in 2 readathons. The first was her storyathon. I did only pick one book for that. It fitted 3 different prompts. I can't remember what they were, but you can go check out my March TBR if you're interested. But the book I chose was Wake by Rebecca Hall, and I did read it. So 100% TBR success, because I only picked one book and it was a graphic novel and it was like 200 pages. I also was taking part in middle grade March. So for that, I had Skandar and the Unicorn Thief as an award winner, which I did read. I have left it downstairs though. Then for a sci-fi, I had The Wild Robot Escapes by Peter Brown, and I also read that. Then for Sea or Sky on the cover, I picked Goodnight, Mr. Tom by Michelle Magorian. I haven't started it yet, but it is the FOMO book club pick for March and April, so it will get read in April. And then for a book featuring a neurodiverse character, I picked A Kind of Spark by Elle Mcnicoll, and I did not get to that one. For a book published within the last year, I picked Small, and I haven't written the author's name down, but hopefully you'll see it on the picture. I didn't get to that either. And then the group book was A Rovers Story by Jasmine Warga, and I won this. I won this beautiful copy from the middle grade March team, so thank you very much. And it came with like a bookmark and a little card of Resilience the Rover and a signed thingy, and one of these. So yeah, that's a bit of a tangent, but I did read it. I actually audiobooked it, and Sam is gonna put this on his shelf to read. So I did read that. So I actually did 3 out of 6. 3 out of 6, 50%. We'll take that as a win. For my standard TBR, the book I chose for the Read Canada Challenge was Call Me Indian by Fred Sasakamoose, and I have read that. For the Agatha and Alice Challenge, I was reading The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which I have started. I'm only about 40-50 pages into it, but I do still have 4 days left of March, so I won't finish it. let's just get that clear. I won't finish it in March, but I will be hopefully around the halfway mark. Then for a goal book, I picked Love Marriage by Monica Ali. Didn't get to that. A book in a series was Lucy by the Sea, which I did read. And then my intimidating read, which is for March and April, so technically I've still got time, is Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Yeah, I haven't even picked it up once. I haven't read one page. So we'll see if that gets read in April. I would say unlikely when you see my TBR, and if you didn't already see it, I have got a TBR for Transgirl April, which I'm really excited about. It's the first year of the readathon. Please go and check it out. Hosted by Say Kevy and Books and Bow, and I really cannot wait to dig into those books. And of course, the Women's Prize is still ongoing. The International Booker is still ongoing. The Jalak Prize is still ongoing. So I have plenty of other stuff going on, and I just don't know if I'm going to get to like a 600-page sci-fi in reality. Is anyone surprised? So that was last month. So I read 2 and I've started 1 out of 5. So again, I'm actually quite happy with that situation. So going into April, we'll get into April. I have some books to tell you about. So if you're new here, I do a sort of standard TBR, which is 4 books related to 4 categories that I chose at the beginning of the year to sort of help guide my reading somewhat. I'll then tell you about any buddy reads and readathons after that. So first on the standard, the core TBR, my Reading Canada challenge book. I have two options for this again this month. So I can't remember which province we're reading. Again, it might be Manitoba. I will put it here. But the two options I have are Fight Night by Miriam Toews. So this has had so many rave reviews. I really do want to get to it. So that is a possibility. The other option is Little Fish by Casey Plett. Casey Plett is a trans woman, and this is a trans story, and so it fits really well with Trans April. Kevy also said that it's really good. She said she couldn't finish it because of triggers, but that it was a fantastically written book. So I really want to get to that in April. Then for the Agatha and Alice challenge, which is basically where I try and read Alice's top 12 horror novels over the course of 2023. We are now on month 4, and the next book up is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. I'm not too sure what any of these Christies are about. I don't really like to read the synopsis before I go into them. They're all murder mysteries, and I want them to be mysterious. So there you go. And then for a goal book, I've got a book that is on my 100 book bucket list challenge list for this year, and that is Crime and Punishment by Dostoyevsky. And I'm actually buddy reading this with the lovely Alice and the Giant Bookshelf and Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot. So if you're unfamiliar, this is a Russian classic to do with crimes, and I am assuming punishments. This actually has really great reviews pretty much across the board. A lot of people really like this book. It is a bit chunky. I think Sandy's copy is only like 450 pages or something, but the copy on my e-reader is like 600 and something pages. So make of that what you will. But I think it is going to be quite hard going because it's a Russian classic. But I will let you know. And then for a book in the series, I'm going to be reading The Galaxy in the Ground Within by what at this point I think is my favourite author, Becky Chambers. I am buddy reading this as well. I'm buddy reading this with the group that I have read the rest of the series with. And that is Sandy, again, at Miss Reads a Lot, Sarah at Freshly Read Books, and Fraser at Fraser Simon's Springboard Thought. So yeah, this is our last Becky Chambers book together. It's the end of an era. But I have absolutely adored this. It's sci-fi. It's quite cozy, quite heartwarming, super diverse, and I just adore Becky Chambers' writing. So yeah, that's the last in the Wayfarer series, and I'll be picking that up. Our little group does have a new sci-fi project that's going to start after this, so I'll update you on that when I get to it. But yeah, I am really looking forward to getting to this one. Then buddy read wise, I have two. First of which is with Jolene at Bookworm and Adventure Girl, and we are going to be reading Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I've been meaning to get to this for so long. It goes on so many TBRs, and Jolene was like, well, how about we buddy read it, and then we will both definitely get to it. So I was like, yes, that is a great plan. So we will be reading that. This is a non-fiction account of Chanel Miller's life after she is sexually assaulted by Brock Turner and the ensuing court case that went along with that. So I have only heard amazing things about this book and cannot wait to read it. The other book I'm going to be buddy reading is You Made a Fall Out of Death with Your Beauty by Kweke Emeze. I'm going to be reading that with Jack at Spread Book Joy. This was a last minute one. Another one for Trans Girl April. This is a romance. I don't think it's like really romantic romance. That makes no sense. But I've been told that you don't have to be a romance lover to love this book, which is good because I am a romance hater. And yeah, we'll see what I make of that. I've only read one other book by Emeze, and that was The Death of Vivek Oji, which I really enjoyed. So I'm hoping that my love of Emeze will continue. And I think that's it for buddy reads. So the only other thing to talk about is readathons. I've already put up a TBR for Trans Girl April, and the other readathon that I'm taking part in, which I know I will get 100% participation in, is Picture This 2023, which is a fantastic readathon hosted by Jack at Spread Book Joy and Shelley Swearingen, where they just champion picture books throughout April, and I love me a picture book. So they have 6 prompts, and I'm just going to talk through what those prompts are and what I've chosen and why. They have also set a challenge to do an illustrator spotlight. I do have a big pile of books over there. You can't see them, they're off camera. It's a surprise. So there will be an illustrator spotlight coming at some point in April as well. So the first prompt is pink. And for that, I have chosen Coming to England by Floella Benjamin and illustrated by Diane Ewan. And you may be saying it's not very pink, but the little girls are in a pink dress. So that's why I chose that one. And this is about a little girl and her family who travel from Trinidad to the UK when she is a young girl and the experience of that. So I thought it just sounded fabulous. So that one is on the TBR. Then for yellow, and full disclosure, I have already read this twice and I loved it. The Little War Cat by Hiba Noor Khan and illustrated by Laura Chamberlain. Again, you may be saying that's not very yellow, but it's got yellow flowers on, and that's what we're going with. So this one is about a cat in Aleppo who has a very chilled, happy life before the war descends, and about what happens to that cat after that and how it sort of finds itself again. And it is so lovely. Seriously, go pick this book up because it's amazing, just amazing. Then the next prompt is movement, and I have chosen 5 Bears by Catherine Rayner. I chose this because this is about a bear who takes a walk through a wood and finds some other bears and becomes friends with them, I think. We haven't read this one yet. And so they are moving through the wood. So that's my interpretation of this prompt. Take it or leave it. But I mean, how beautiful is that book? Then we have Silly, and I've gone for The Odd Egg by Emily Gravitt. I actually love Emily Gravitt as an illustrator. I think she is so fantastic. We do have some other work by her downstairs. And so, yes, I think this is going to be a silly book. It's also, I love books that do this. It's got like little flippy flappers in it. So it just makes it so much more fun, particularly if you're reading to a child. So yeah, we're looking forward to this. So I could obviously have used this for yellow prompt also. Then we have Funny, and I've gone for Teapot Trouble by Morag Hood, because there's a duck and a teapot on it. How much funnier can you get than a duck in a teapot, right? So yeah, that one is also on the TBR. And then for Hope, I've gone for New in Town by Martha Altez, about a dog who is alone, without a home, but he really wants one, and maybe he'll find one in this new town. So I think it's just about like loneliness and the hope that comes after loneliness and stuff like that. So I'll let you know when I wrap up in April. But I just thought that sounded really lovely. Plus, me and Charlie, we stan a book with dogs in. So yeah. So that is it. That is all the books that I'm going to be reading in April, or those are the ones I'm going to be trying to prioritise. We'll see how it goes. The problem that I have, right? Let me level with you. The problem that I have is I'm getting a massive FOMO for like every book imaginable at the moment. So I went to the library the other day, and this is my current library situation. And like almost none of these are actually on my TBR. I think the only one that's on my Transgal April TBR is the Nettle Black. Everything else is just other stuff I want to read. So we've got those. Oh, and I've still got this that I haven't read yet from the library, The Lost Words. So yeah, there's stuff going on everywhere, but we're just gonna wing it. It's gonna be fine. I refuse to get stressed out about reading. I will read what I read, and I won't read what I don't read. And it's fine. It's just all fine. So I would love to know what you're planning to read in April, and if you missed my Transgal April TBR, I will do that there for you, and I'll catch you all very soon with another one. Bye guys.